And here's Bob Carpenter.
America is under siege. We have been under siege by our federal government for many decades now. At this point, things are coming to a head. We are under physical and spiritual siege. The physical is the easiest to spot and understand and is exemplified in the crisis down in the Gulf with the oil leak. Our government has characterized this by delay. That is federal waters down there. The federal government showed no apparent interest for over 30 days after this started. They're interfering with they have interfered with Governor Jindal's sucking up the oil with barges by interfering with those barges by stopping them until the Coast Guard could inspect them for life jackets and fire extinguishers. And they held them up for an extra day trying to make sure, or trying to find out who owned each of the barges. This is also serving to interdict our food supply because we get a lot of food out of the Gulf of Mexico, folks. A lot of America's food comes out of that Gulf, and a lot of the food that those folks eat down there comes out of the Gulf. And with Mr. Obama's moratorium on oil drilling and exploration in the United States, it's serving as an excuse to interdict our flow of petroleum in this country. And this will to slavery in one form or another of those good hard-working Cajuns and the other folks in Alabama and Mississippi and probably even Florida down there along the Gulf Coast. As Mr. Obama's chief of staff so poignantly stated, never let a good crisis go to waste. Our government is using this crisis against the people of America. And I just cite this as one example that really is very obvious for us to see. The information that I'm about to share with you is vital to the freedom of every American. Americans of every cultural and religious stripe, every political stripe, and of every race and ethnic background. This is not a special interest issue. It is not a partisan politics issue. It is a human issue. Unfortunately, I find it my duty to share with you things that you need to hear, even though it may not be what you want to hear. But first things first, I suppose I should introduce myself. I'm Bob Carpenter. I live in the Ozark Mountains of Arkansas and have an exciting and varied background. The part of my background that qualifies me to be able to do the work that I'm doing here, to bring this vital subject to your attention and to present a plan for overcoming it, is my understanding of the intelligence business, which I learned in the United States Marine Corps. Also of extreme importance is what I am not. I am not a political insider at the local, state, or federal level. I'm not a candidate for political office, and I am not anybody's water boy. I can and will report to you honestly, and that's the end of that story. In spite of my unusual background, I'm an everyday person, just like most of you. Through a 22-year military career and 15 years on the road as an over-the-road trucker, as a ranch hand and cowboy in Texas and Montana, as unemployed during recession, having to create my own job, having to get my hands dirty, to sweat it out, and to work from early to late without regard for the time clock, and with experience punching the time clock. I know what it is to be challenged, to make ends meet from month to month, just like you do. I also know what it is like to have my needs bountifully met. I've endured both acute and chronic pain and languished in hospitals, well, more appropriately on death's doorstep for months at a time with acute myelogenous leukemia. I have been around both figuratively and literally, having been to all 50 of our United States and 9 foreign countries on 4 continents. Mostly I visited free countries, but I have also visited some communist ones. I've mixed and mingled with many different peoples at home and around the world. I've been a loser in divorce and a winner in marriage. My point is, I am one of you. I have our mutual welfare at heart. I'm an American who has a rich heritage of overcoming obstacles, of taking risks and winning at the many games I've played. My purpose is to bring you, the hard-working, everyday American citizen, up to date on the importance of what is happening to America, of what is happening to your homeland. Our government taught me how to receive information, to evaluate and process it according to known factors, and to produce intelligence that can be used to achieve a desired objective. I have used this talent diligently over the last 10 years with regard to the deteriorating situation that is now unquestionably a serious danger to all Americans. What I have to discuss with you is very exciting and disturbing. It's the result of many years of careful research and points to a clear and present danger for all freedom-loving Americans. The information that I have to share with you is so alarming and so urgent that it boggles my mind.